ready to go, Bailey. Shit.
Yeah, I don't know. I was just kind of like, we're talking about this, and I'm like, I don't want to run into like one of those points where it's like, has the episode started? Like, did we start recording already?
Oh.
We're just talking
Just
about
assume
the
it's always recorded.
Just assume it's always recording. That's a perfect way to start. I'm gonna assume that it is recording.
You can assume that. Yeah.
Well, it's that old casual opinions every once in a while podcast here.
It's Star
Hello
Wars
there.
week.
Honestly, I think we've done Star Wars like the last 3 or 4 times, so maybe we're gonna need to do something else soon.
Oh, Guardians.
But the Midians of the galaxy.
Oh.
I watched a Mario movie.
Oh,
Nah,
we
the
can
Mario
now.
movie is straight
Yeah,
heat, man.
let's
Yeah.
do the Mario movie. That's what the next.
We can
one
just
should
tack
be.
that
I
on
love-
into this one or whatever. I don't
Just
care.
tag it on. Yeah.
Mario and Star Wars.
Well, Mario and Star Wars. Let's do the Star Wars part
Of
first,
course,
and we
of
can come
course.
back.
Absolutely.
Mario was a banger. It
Oh
is
yeah.
maybe the best movie of all time.
It's good.
I'm just kidding. It's at least my favorite. It's at least my favorite movie I've seen this year, I would say.
Oh.
Probably same.
I
I mean, it was
also
my most hyped, but
I haven't seen a
I
lot
don't know.
though.
We'll talk about that. We'll talk about that.
I will also say I have not seen a lot of movies.
Yeah,
this year,
same.
So
Yeah, I'm in
um,
that same boat.
for what that's worth. But we're talking about Star Wars. We talked a little bit about Jedi Survivor before this, a little bit. We won't do much of that because we don't want to spoil anything. It's pretty good. It kind of chugs along a little bit. Mine's a little slow. There's some performance issues, but otherwise, I've enjoyed it. It's got High Republic in it, which if everybody knows, I'm a simp for High Republic. So
Yeah.
that also has me very excited to watch Star Wars Young Jedi Adventures,
You and
which
Disney
I'm
Jr.
gonna me and Disney Jr. I'm gonna probably get through that pretty soon as well. But we're gonna talk about Star Wars Visions, which actually was one of our first episodes that we did. I think when we first started this, we did like a ranking Star Wars Visions thing. That was like one of the earliest
I better
ones
pull my list up real
that we did. So we're gonna do something like that again with Star Wars Visions Season 2.
This is
I
getting
guess
out of
before
hand.
we get
Now there are 2 of them.
well done. I was not sure
Oh,
what that was at first.
right.
Well done.
Should have
Um,
known.
What was I gonna say? Damn,
Something
you threw
related
me
to
off.
visions.
Yes, something Star Wars. Oh, before we get into like individual episodes, yeah, it was literally our first episode was
Really?
Star Wars.
That's
Visions.
awesome.
Yep.
Nice.
Before we do like individual rankings, what was everybody's? I guess maybe like overall feelings if on this, and maybe how it compares to season 1. If you remember anything from season 1.
Yeah.
For me, I think, and I've only watched through all of these once. I think personally, I like season 1 more.
I
There was
agree.
more. I feel like there was more in there that's going to stick with me. Like there was more wow moments. I
My
do
name is
like that this
Ethan.
one, like that. Okay, we've got the God King Ethan in season 1. This one I liked season 2 because I think it kind of steered into some newer-ish things, like because I felt like in season 1 pretty much every single one was like
Kinda
kyber
the
crystal
same.
lightsaber,
Yeah.
kyber crystal lightsaber, so I liked that this one did different stuff.
It did different stuff, but it also kind of kept that same kind
Yeah.
of overarching theme. Like
Mhm.
this was very Children of the Force heavy.
Yeah.
This
Yes.
season in particular. Which I'm not going to complain about. I actually differ from your opinions on this. I thought season 2 was much stronger overall. However, I will say there are episodes of season 1 that on the whole I think are superior to individual episodes within this season. Which kind of puts them at a good balance for me.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah.
we'll get into that.
And I think that there's going to be a good. I mean, as long as it's doing this well, I mean, just keep making them, And
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
we talked about it before. I kind of wanted them to do more different things, so I
Mhm.
appreciated that. I would like for them to continue to do that, but like, and this is maybe, I don't know if I'm gonna illustrate this well. Maybe less focus more on like genre and less on Star Wars, if you will. So like I don't know, there's so many different types of anime. Like I've said this before, like how cool would it be to do like a pod racing Star Wars Visions or like, like there's a bunch of sports animes and there's slice of life animes and maybe focus more on that, just like
And
set in a Star Wars world could be cool. I don't know.
because everything here was just kind of like everyone had a lightsaber or everyone had the Force in some
Yes.
capacity, and it was
Pretty
just
much.
kind of like, okay, let's maybe step away from Jedi and fighting the Empire.
Right.
Show
It's like
I
with
like the ones where it's just again, we'll get into these in the episodes, but some of my favorite episodes of these were just people trying to get by and just do things.
Yeah.
I was like engrossed by that.
it's like I don't know, that with season 1 it was like all again that kyber crystal lightsaber thing. It basically, to me, you could kind of be like, oh, that would be like if every single anime was a samurai anime. Like there's different types and styles and stuff that I think that they could get into and do stuff with, but whatever. We'll get into then episode rankings. We'll just go worst to first. So there's 9
I didn't know we
of
were
them.
ranking them. Shit.
You can,
I thought we were just talking about them.
or we can
I
just
didn't put
talk
in
about
the-
them. I don't care.
Yeah, I mean, we totally can.
I ranked them.
Okay,
I
yeah, go for
personally
it. Go
ranked
for
them.
it. That's fine with me.
Can you
Okay.
rank them on the fly,
I
Caleb?
think I can rank them on the fly. I'll do my best. Just let me go last.
I was gonna say you
Okay.
could go last. I'll happily go first.
Okay,
just kind of set some sort of tone for this on my regard.
Okay, it's probably a bad tone, I'm guessing.
Well, I hope not, because honestly, like the whole thing about Star Wars Visions is it's fantastic. Like I don't think there's a quote unquote bad episode. Even in season 1, I think every episode is like actually very good in their own regard, and frankly, it wouldn't surprise me if any of these became like pilots for their own series, or they all work in their own way with their own styles. So I want to get that clear. So even though we're putting like some of them as the lowest or the worst, I wouldn't call these like bad episodes. I would just say maybe we didn't personally connect to them, that kind of
They're
thing.
all better than Tatooine Rhapsody from season 1.
Yeah. The more I've sat on it, the lower that one has gone for me.
Yeah, Bailey had that as his number 1 in season 1.
Oh no, it didn't.
I know.
Jesus. I think we all agreed Ronan was really good.
I think Ronan was my number 1 from last year.
Which one was that one? Is
No,
it like
no,
the-
Ninth Jedi was my number 1.
That's what it was.
I don't
Okay.
know these names. It's been so long.
Ninth Jedi is Ethan. Ronan is
Oh,
the
okay.
black and white one.
Those were both very good. I don't know which one I like more because it's been a minute.
Okay. I'll start mine off with my number 9, which is In the Stars, which
That was mine too. Episode 3.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I didn't connect with it.
Oh yeah,
as
annoying.
much as I was hoping to.
Annoying ass kids is what I have listed.
I figured. I was watching this. I was like, Caleb hates these guys.
Yeah. And I honestly liked it a little more near the end of the episode and right at the begin. I thought what it was they were going to have like the story of their mother being told on this like wall, because that animated portion was pretty cool where they were describing how their mom fought the Empire and died. And then near the end, they kind of mirror that and they take up their own like sisterly strength and overthrow the Empire. But just like everything else around it, it was just spy, espionage, getting in there. And I remember at a certain point, I picked up my phone and started scrolling around on Twitter. And then I went, oh, wait, I'm supposed to be watching this episode. Like,
did that a couple.
I was just kind of like, oh, geez. Well, I got to put this down and try to focus back in. And I just kind of, at that point, it was lost. And I was like,
Yeah.
okay. Animation for all of these was gorgeous. I loved all the animation. It was just, this story just felt very Star Wars and felt very basic. And that child voice actor was not the best, especially following up the one that came before it, which was the Screecher's Reach, which had some great voice acting. It just this one didn't hit me as well. I don't know.
Yeah, it was. I think I pretty much agree across the
I
board.
will throw that as my bottom as well.
Yeah, I just didn't get hooked on it, and the voice wasn't great. One thing that I did, and this is just a overall noticing thing, season 1 had like a bunch of like
Big voice actors.
big voice actors.
Yeah, I didn't
and
look up this one at all. I wasn't sure.
I recognized across all 9 episodes, I recognized like the names of like 2 people, maybe 3.
I'll have to look at that. I'm not sure.
Like I think Daniel Day Kim was in one of the episodes.
I don't even know who that is.
He's like Hawaii Five-0. He's in it. Does like a lot of television, and then one of the guys from Hamilton was in an episode.
Yeah,
Overrated.
Yeah, so Middleton. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, that's just a side bar. But yeah, this was my. It sounds like this is the consensus least favorite here.
Def.
So Bailey, if you just want to jump right into your 8, then I suppose.
Back to Bailey.
And here's the part where I wanted to clarify, because even though this is my number 8, I actually really enjoyed the episode. And that's pretty much the way it is from the rest of this.
I'm kidding.
And this is Aardman Animation's I Am Your Mother, which was the racing episode. I love Wallace and Gromit. I love Chicken Run. I love everything that Aardman has put out. It's just, they're a studio that knows how to have fun with their stop motion and everything. And this was no exception. I thought it was just fun to see pilots at like the Wedge Antilles led pilot school for the rebellion just having like a little race, and it was just like this is the bully kid and we want to beat the bully kid in the race even though we're kind of an underdog kind of setup. I thought it was fine. It was fun. This is the kind of stuff that I was hoping we'd get more of from Visions. And it's exactly what we got, and I still had a great time with it.
Yeah, I had that one higher up, so I'll talk a little bit more about it later. But I did like every, and there's only 2 seasons, but so at least the theme or reoccurrence here is in each season there's one episode that has like an actual Star Wars character in it. Yep. So like this was the only one that had like an actual Star Wars character in it. So that was cool to have Wedge in there. My number 8 was Spy Dancer, episode 7.
Really?
I don't know. It was cool. I like that. I don't know, Caleb. I like that like rope dance thing. Like that's always cool to watch. But I don't know. It just, or maybe that was episode 6. I can't remember what episode it was off the top of my head. The imp guy, the Imperial guy, looked cool. He was scary. You know, it's kind of a sad story, I guess.
Yeah.
You know,
that's probably why I like
the most I guess impactful part is like at the end to me, where you see that like the Empire has like cut off the kid's horns or whatever.
Covered up one of his eyes.
Yeah, so that was, it was good. I liked it. It was pretty. It was cool. I liked her little Assassin's Creed blades. But I don't know. It didn't have anything that like kapow just wowed me beyond belief. I pretty quickly figured out that was her kid. Like,
yeah,
I wasn't floored by that. That was not some huge revelation to me, but it was good. Not great.
Yeah, that I agree. I'll probably throw that one for my next as well. I was between that and another one, but once you started talking about that one, I kind of, I remember watching that one. I was just like, I don't really care for this, I guess, setting, the dancing thing, the spy. Yeah. It's literally called the Spy Dancer, right, or something like that. Like,
yeah.
I don't know. It was just kind of mid to me. I guess when I did learn that it was her kid, I was like, okay, this kind of cool. It changes things up a little bit, but it was just okay. It was just okay.
Agreed.
Okay.
I bet that's Bailey's number 1. He didn't like it when we said it. Yeah.
I mean, it's higher up there. It's not my number 1, but it's there. My
Number
number
one.
7 is the Bandits of Golak. Um, and I think the only reason why I have it so low on this list is because the whole train portion and it just kind of was like, I just don't care for the train portion. Once they actually got to like this compound that they were trying to get to, because the sister is like force sensitive, I knew kind of where it was going at that point, and I found myself enjoying it a little more. But the train heist, I was like, okay. I feel like we could have maybe made the whole episode about that, but honestly, once they got to the compound, it just improved. And having the Inquisitor show up, just I don't know why. I'm always a sucker for Inquisitors just popping in and just ruining everyone's day. And that's pretty much what happened here. And then we got a badass fight that pisses off people on the internet because they didn't understand how the old lady's staff worked.
That's a little strange. I was a little curious how that worked too.
Yeah, they're all mad because
Yeah.
they're like, "Oh, there's a piece of wood between the lightsabers, and she just disintegrates it, and then she puts it back together somehow." And I'm like, "It's animation. It's
Live with it.
wizards with laser swords
Well,
in
and
space."
also,
Just shut
yeah,
up.
several Visions episodes have changed how lightsabers work. You know,
Yeah.
it's not
exactly
that crazy. So
Yeah.
right.
Like in season 1, there's one where he like does like a hyperspace lightsaber blast thing.
yeah,
Yeah. I liked that. Yeah, I liked Bandits of Golok. I had it a little bit higher. My next one, then I guess my number 7 was The Pit. The one where they're just all in the hole in the ground.
You mean Batman? Dark Knight Rises.
Basically,
that's what I
yeah.
was like. Oh wow, we got Bane.
No,
I-
I literally I was watching that episode and my dad Jeff walked downstairs
Yeah.
and he just goes, he's like,
Yeah.
"Did they just steal this plot from that Batman movie?" And I was like, "Basically."
Yeah. It was good. I thought it was, I don't know, a little boring. Not much really happened. They dig a hole, they're left in the hole, which like I don't get it from and this is a stupid nitpick, but like logistically, if you're the Empire, why do you just leave them there? Either A, take them and have them dig somewhere
Yeah,
else, or kill them. I mean,
I thought that was a little
you
strange
know,
too.
it's or don't want maybe I don't know, maybe they didn't want to waste their blasters on or something stupid. I don't know. That was kind of like why, but I don't know. It was
Right.
there were parts of it that I thought were cool. I liked the stormtrooper with the cape. I thought he was
Yeah.
cool. I didn't honestly think that they would kill old buddy there.
Yeah, I think that's kind of what I liked about it. Was I wasn't
threw
expecting
him and
that.
they threw him and he's like falling and I'm like, oh, someone's gonna catch him with the force.
Yeah,
and
I
then they
did
just
too.
cut to him being dead and I was like, oh shit. So that was cool. It was good. But again, I felt like not much happened. It was cool to see her at the very end. She turned the Kyber crystal blue, which I thought was cool. Because it was like white and it like turns blue
yeah, that was
end.
cool too. Yeah,
So
I did like that.
That was neat.
What number was that?
Oh yeah.
That was episode 8.
8. Okay. Oh yeah, I saw
I
that.
was
Good ending
gonna
with Crystal.
say I have it in the exact same spot, for my list here. So, does that mean I get to talk and then we'll go to Caleb's and then
I
I
thought
thought
you
to
just went.
Yeah, you just did.
You just
Gold
did.
I know
Golok.
Bandits of Golak.
Is that not your 7?
Oh wait, for 7. Never mind.
Yeah,
Pit is my
right.
next one.
Yeah, sorry.
I have it
Pit is episode 8, but it's my
Gotcha.
number 7.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
confusing. I should just
I
refer
got
to them with
confused.
the names.
My apologies. I'm not going yet.
Yeah, my number 7 is, I don't have the names listed here, but it's the first episode. First episode. Sith. I think I told you, Zach, I was like halfway through the episode. I was like, I don't like this. I just don't like this. I don't like the paint theme going on. I didn't like how artistically, the animation was fine. I didn't like how the colors would change. It was all paint based, and like when the episode first starts out, wherever she's at, everything's all like white and unpainted. I guess I don't know. Like when the Sith showed up and the bounty hunters and all the action was going, I was like, okay, this is cool. But I don't know. I thought it was a little dumb. I just thought it was a little dumb.
She's got a General Grievous bike in there.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
A big cool circle thing.
And I think maybe like you could say this
You
with
also-
any of them. I think it maybe could have been improved upon if I knew a little bit more. You know, she's this Sith who's no longer wanting to be a Sith, and she's getting hunted by a Sith. Like, I don't know. I just wish I could have maybe
Right.
seen more, and maybe I would have liked more.
I get
but
that.
I don't know. I just didn't
Also-
vibe with the paint thing.
I believe a little bit of that animation studio worked on like the Spider-Verse films.
I could see
You
that
see
almost.
a lot of the influence
Yeah,
in
I
that,
could kind of see that. Yeah.
and that makes sense because you don't like Spider-Verse. You wouldn't like this episode.
Yeah. Not the biggest fan of Spider-Verse.
She did have a badass lightsaber in there, though.
Yeah.
Why can't I
Like-
remember it?
It's kind of like it's double-sided. One side was like yellow,
Oh,
one side was red.
no, I didn't
and then
like
it was
that.
kind of curved a little bit.
like
too.
the
I-
yellow scimitar on one side?
Yeah, no, I don't like that.
Oh, boo.
I don't like.
Ugh.
I think it's a little ugly having two different colors on the double bladed. I've always thought that. It's just like a
I
personal.
wish if you could do that in Jedi
I wouldn't do
Survivor,
it.
I totally would.
I wouldn't do it. No, I don't like it.
Or two different colors, singles.
Ooh, that'd be nice.
That's a little bit better, but when it's connected, I don't really care for it. I was just sort of on the same topic with the cross guard in there. I was really hoping that was just going to be a separate saber, but instead you like make it a part of your big old saber. I don't know. I would have preferred it better if it was just a separate saber that you picked up, and then you could change the color on that. That would be cool.
That would be cool.
Oh well.
Oh well.
Well, we'll move on to my number 6, which I've spoiled, is the Pit. I
Brad
liked
Pitt.
it. Pretty much. I liked it. It was definitely that I had that same thought of like, logistically, why would you just abandon this group of people down there whenever they've proven themselves to be like capable of accomplishing the task that you want of mining Kyber? They're technically resource. You could just, get them out of there and have them keep doing it while they're under your foot, essentially. So I was like, okay, but it's whatever. The Empire is just sick and twisted in general, and I'm sure someone was like, yeah, just leave them behind. We got more that we can use. Just let them die out there. It's like, otherwise, the only thing I could think the Empire would do other than just maintaining this group and keeping them as they go and search for more Kyber would be like releasing them. And even then, if they release them, they speak out on anything, the Empire just arrests them again and utilizes them, or no one believes them, kind of like what we saw a little bit of. I don't know. And again, it felt very Dark Knight Rises. And so I was kind of won over, but at the same time, it was distracting. But other than that, it was cool. It's good to see, like the Boondocks animators doing something with Star Wars and just being like, okay, cool, we're gonna kick ass with this. And again, I agree that Stormtrooper with a cape was intimidating and badass, and I'm kind of like, oh, I wish we got more intimidating stormtroopers and
Kind
other
of like
pieces of media.
Phasma-esque almost.
That's kind of what I thought. And I
Yeah.
like whenever I first saw him, I was kind of like, is this Empire or is this First Order? And is that Phasma? And then he spoke, and I was like, okay, I guess it's
Totally
Empire.
Phasma.
That's another thing that I think could be kind of branched out a little bit is
Other eras.
the majority of these episodes in this season, especially, and I think even in season 1, are kind of set in that kind of era.
Yeah.
Although, some of them are like, I guess, like Ninth Jedi, and some of the others are in like in
Right.
different times. But yeah, like I don't know, where's a prequel one? Where's a sequel one?
Yeah, let's see some
there's-
clone troopers or something.
Yeah.
Hmm.
My number 6 was I just basically flip flop with Bailey. I had Bandits of Golak there. I really liked the lightsaber fight at the end. I'm always a sucker for a train. Anything
I thought the train
anything
thing
on a
was-
train is cool. There's one part where one of the rebels like pulls up to the train, opens the door, and
But
gets
just gets shot in the face.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I was like, damn.
And he just falls out. So that's another one where I was like, oh, Caleb hates this kid. Caleb hates this girl.
Yeah, she's definitely an annoying little kid.
She definitely was fumbling. definitely got them in trouble there. But yeah, I thought it was fun. I liked the cane saber, even if it doesn't make sense.
It's
And
cool.
I thought
I'm cool with
Was
it.
yeah,
I thought
and
I thought the Inquisitor was straight pimped. Like he had the gold, he had that kick-ass mustache. Like, Buddy just like
Yeah.
walked out like
dude, and
he's
those
just like
purge troopers
just
just
like
got washed though.
they did.
They didn't do
got washed bad.
anything.
Oh yeah, no, that was the other thing about the episode that I noticed is like he had that thing hovering over his head,
And the
but his
purge troopers are just like, whatever.
right there, just staring forward. I'm like, maybe they really can't see anything out of those helmets because that
Right.
is like right above his head in their line
know.
of sight.
I even liked how the Inquisitor was using the Force because he used it in like a way that like I totally would if I had the Force. Like he just like uses it to like scoot his chair a little
Yeah.
bit and like
Yeah.
scoot their. I'm just like, yeah, I would.
It's
Like,
intimidating, honestly.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. It's like I'm a little bit far from my keyboard here. Scoot, scoot. You know, but it was good. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, that was
The
fun.
little palace place in the desert was really colorful. So
Yeah.
and it kind of gave Hidden Path vibes when they go in the underground there, which is kind of a theme in Survivor.
Yeah.
It was a theme in Kenobi as well. So that was kind of interesting to see.
Love good old tie-ins. My next is Ao's song, the last one. Is that right? The last
yeah.
one. Yeah, that one would be my number 6. I just kids, but I like I don't know when you introduce and I know that this isn't canon, but like when you introduce a new Force ability, kind of with her basically using her voice to heal Kyber Crystal, it's like I don't know, I'm a little 50-50 on that. I didn't really care for it, and she was like a kid who like didn't talk like hardly at all, but then has this Force power voice and she's just a dumb kid who gets into trouble, and I don't know. It's like whatever. The animation, I actually really liked the animation. I don't even know what is that. It almost looked like puppets and claymation in a way. I don't know. It's cool though.
Yeah,
but
like fabricy.
fabricy. Yeah. I did like
Yeah.
the animation, but
Very cuddly.
just it was just okay. It was just okay.
Oh yeah.
I had that one higher up, obviously, as noted
same.
by the fact that I have not said it yet. But we'll come back around to that.
Now we're in top 5 territory.
Top 5.
My number 5 was Screecher's Reach. That's
Reacher's Screech.
Screecher's Reach or whatever. The horror-esque one where they go to find the ghost and it turns out to be like a Sith. And
Witch.
I really
I'm curious
liked it.
about that one. That one's a little higher up for me. I'm curious.
Yeah,
Same season.
like a dark side user who was probably like in hiding and just became this like mystic legend and was just
And I just want to throw this out here. I know this is your pick, but like, and maybe you're gonna say it too, but like, this lady that picks up this guy, she's totally a Sith, right?
yeah, she's 100%
okay.
Sith.
I was like a little
Not an
50-50. I was a little 50-50. I was like, maybe she's good, but she seems so evil.
Yeah, no. Like as soon
they left that kid with a very bad woman.
Oh no, absolutely.
For sure.
As soon as I saw that happen, I was kind of like, "Oh God, that's good."
Yeah.
Like to me, that feels very Sith to
Yeah.
like promise a child, here is like a potential future for you. All you have to do is kill this other Sith, and once you do, then you can have everything that your heart desires. That is twisted, and I kind of adore that as an ending. And it's also done by Cartoon Saloon, who have done a ton of like Oscar nominated animated features that are just gorgeous to look at. And this one had plenty of that with the Banshee Sith in the cave, like coming after her and all of that. It was good.
I liked it.
Very
Well.
Scottish, Irish, whatever. I love it.
My number 5 was Sith. I kind of liked the no color thing a little bit, even though Caleb did not. I thought it was cool because they kind of used the colors to represent the Force, right? The darkness is always there. I liked her little droid EZ or whatever his name was, E2. And there's one part where he turns into a cannon and he just shoots a guy's head off,
Yeah.
which was cool. And I thought the bad guys looked just like straight pimps out
They
in the
were
desert.
cool.
I
Yeah, they
mean,
were pretty
Oh,
cool.
yeah.
they looked so
Oh,
freaking
yeah.
cool. And there's like a jetpack chase scene. I thought it was fun. The animation, the animation was nice. It's nice on all of them. But yeah, I really liked it. I thought we've already talked about the lightsaber. I thought the lightsaber was cool. I do, that is one where I'm like, I wish I knew more. Why did she leave? Where is she going? Why does she like painting so much? That's also another thing throughout this season. There's kind of like the arts in here a lot. Like there's painting in episode 1. There's painting in the
Pit.
episode 3. Yeah, there's painting in the pit. There's the flute in Golok. There's singing in Au's song.
There's dancing.
There's
and...
dance. Like yeah, it's
Artsy
very
fartsy.
artsy fartsy. Man, I hate that shit. But yeah, no, it was good. I liked the Sith.
Right on. Okay, well, my number 5 will be the Pit, which we have already talked about a little bit. I thought the Stormtrooper was cool. I liked the ending with the crystal, her turning that blue. I love the kyber crystals. I always think that's so cool and fascinating.
That's not canon to Star Wars. Kyber crystals aren't colored that way. The kyber blah 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 blah. Sorry, I'm turning into
Bailey.
Twitter toxic fanboy.
You tell him.
I don't know what would
Like
be
every
not
single
canon
sorry,
about
every
that.
time that I see I see a Twitter post about the show and how great it is. There's always people in the comments like, I don't watch these cartoons. Anime is for stupid people. And it's just like, what the hell is wrong with you guys?
Fucking grow up. Like,
yeah. Anyway,
they're
continue.
losers. Yeah. Yeah, it was cool. I thought I kind of like, it's almost like you blinked and you missed it, which I don't think I did, but like I felt like one scene they were digging the pit and I'm like, okay, I can see the top, and then the next scene it's like 1,000,000 feet down. I'm like, how the hell? This is a deep ass pit. Like, you really just let them dig all the way down there?
You took a very long blink. I think you might have just fallen asleep for a
No,
couple
I mean, I saw them
seconds,
like
'cause
speeding through and they were like building the city and everything, but like I felt like literally from one scene to another, the pit was like, okay, that's deep. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, that's a skyscraper level pit. Like, that is down there. Like, I don't know. That's just, I thought that was a little interesting, but it was fine. It was good. I liked it. It was okay. Them throwing the kid off and murdering him. Like, I also expected him to live. And I was like, oh, wow, no. He did. But yeah,
He
that'd
gone.
be 5.
He gone.
Okay. Well, my number 4 is
Number
Au's
4.
song.
Au's
I
song.
really like it. Just the animation alone was already like a standout bit of uniqueness for me, and it was like, this is pretty. I really like looking at this. I personally liked the whole like force singing that cures red kyber crystals and brings them back. It gave me High Republic vibes. I don't know if anyone else kind of felt that, where it just wasn't like between the prequels and original trilogy. It felt fairly early on, like they're trying to cure crystals, and they have a group of Jedi who that's their sole dedication is curing crystals.
Well, and they said in the beginning, I thought how like
there
bunch of
had been a
Sith.
war.
Yeah, there had been a war and
exactly.
everything. Yeah.
Yeah, so it gave me that vibe, and having one of them be like, "Oh, you're the first of our kind who has seen the galaxy or set out to the stars." I was like, "Okay, I kind of like that." And this is another one where it's like, this community feels like they are just operating in the Star Wars galaxy. They're doing their thing, and even though it is tied to the Jedi, it's a very unique kind of thing where they're mining this kyber for a specific purpose, and that is to cure the kyber. And I'm like, yeah, no, that's fine. And it's cool that they built a community kind of around this goal on this planet, and I just thought it was cute. Also, I think we've talked about this. The landscapes for this one, I don't know. Just watching it, they show like landscapes of this entire planet. It was gorgeous. I don't know if anyone else was like blown away by that, but for me it was just beautiful.
Yeah, I mean,
it was
I just like the
really
animation of
fun,
that
yeah.
one. I was impressed with the animation on that. It all looked pretty
Oh yeah,
Sure.
fuzzy. I wanted to give them all a hug.
Me too. My number 4 was I Am Your Mother.
Oh, same.
I thought it was nice. I thought it was fun.
Yeah.
It was I mentioned earlier, like, oh, how cool would it be if there was a pod racing anime? This was not quite that, but it was still fun. It was
This is pod racing.
Also, I think it was great that her name was Annie.
Dude, okay, yeah, I was gonna say.
I really appreciated that.
I know I'm probably taking this too far, but I was like, okay, her name's Annie. She's basically doing pod racing. It's I Am Your Mother. Like, are we gonna get like a possible alternative future Sith Lord out of her? Like, what's going on here?
Yeah. It was just a lot of fun. Wedge was in there, which was cool. I liked their droid / dog / accordion thing.
Yeah, whatever that was. That was kind of funny.
And the Wookiees in there were just I don't know. I loved how the all the claymation or whatever it was, the Wookiees in there. I thought they were just fun. They just made me very happy. There's the one part where they're like there's somebody like making fun of the baby Wookiee, and he like looks at him and like rips the arms off of his toy.
Yeah, that was funny. Yeah,
and then I also like how, and this is like with that studio, like you could tell the bad guy's the bad guy pretty easy. Like
the mom.
I mean, but then they have the gun on their ship that is literally a replica Death Star, just like, oh man, just shooting people. That feels a little insensitive.
A little bit.
Oh my god, yeah.
I think this is the first episode I could think of in Visions where there's like nothing like with the Force, like nobody uses the Force.
I don't think
there's
so
no
at all.
lightsabers.
That's what I was gonna say that too. Yeah,
and I can't remember all of season 1, but I'm pretty sure there is either a lightsaber or the Force in every episode of season 1. So that kind of stood out in that regard as well.
I could be wrong, but was there any Force or light? I don't think there was any Force or lightsaber in the Spy Dancer, or was there?
That was after this episode, but yeah. No, that's exactly.
I think you're
like
right.
The first one.
Yeah.
But yeah, Spy Dancer did not have any Force or lightsabers.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really liked it. Caleb, I assume you did as well.
Yeah. I mean, we've already said it, but yeah, no, I thought it was a fun episode. I was like, I don't know. Wallace and Gromit, I don't know. It's been a long time since I've seen it. I remember kind of liking it. I had a game for the GameCube, I'm sure. But I'll be honest, whenever I was gonna watch the episode, I didn't think I was gonna like it. I was like, this is just gonna be one of those weird things. I could tell that they were gonna be weird with it, but I was wrong. I liked it. It was definitely different, a little unique, and fun. Good animation.
Yeah, it was a good time. I'd like more.
Oh yeah.
Top 3 then, Bailey.
For me, it's the Spy Dancer, which I said would be higher up on my list. I really like the animation on this and how dynamic it got. Like the moments where she was going to kill this guy, who she thought it was him, and there's just like this animated moment where you see the guy looking at her with fear, and you see her looking back. There was something about the animation in that moment that was just like striking, and it just went off the rails from there. And I kind of knew what was happening, but it took me a minute to like catch on to it, because I didn't understand that this child that was taken away from her was like her son for a moment. I thought it was
her
that
daughter.
other girl.
Yeah, I did
Yeah,
too.
no, I was like, oh, did she like, are we gonna get a reveal that she like chased after this guy and got her back or something? And she's like super protective of her. I like, that's kind of where I was going.
Same.
Didn't even register that like that guy was going to be her son. I thought it was just going to be like a misdirect of, oh, it's just another officer who just happens to look like that guy in some capacity. But no, yeah, the ending was definitely striking, and I think that's what really won me over with this, was the animation and just that twist. It got me.
Does it not seem
that's
a
why I
little
have it so high.
odd to send the person you kidnapped to the place you kidnapped them from? Presumably that's roughly the same area where he was kidnapped. I mean, maybe they're in a completely different location now, I don't know, but I just thought it was a little strange.
I think it was like a different area. I
It
think that was
probably
the
was. It
implication.
probably was. But part of me was wondering. I'm like, this is awfully convenient that they're all meeting here. But
I
whatever.
did point out there was one moment where she's flying around the room and she's throwing out all of like the tracker devices, and there was one stormtrooper that she hit like on the shoulder, and then she also got his gun, and I'm like,
Well, damn.
that's. I was like, for one guy, you threw two of these things. I think. And you said these were like the last of the ones that you had that could potentially still work. I was like, just save these, give them out like a little more conservatively. I wouldn't be just throwing two up for every person. Uh, anyway, that was just the one little thing that I thought was funny. But beyond that, I like it. Top 3.
Yeah, it was a good one. It was good. Ish. My number 3, and I had a hard time with the top 3, so if I rewatch it, could very easily move my top 3 around. But I had Journey to Darkhead as number 3,
Oh, okay, yeah.
which this one was like the most traditional. This one felt like it could have just been put like smack dab in season 1. Like it was the most similar, I think, to season 1. Had the best fight, I think, for sure, in there. Anytime there, and I'm always a fan of anime dudes with white hair. Like something about anime guys with white hair, like you just know they're gonna kick ass. And I liked what was his name, Toll, something like that. He was cool. I liked again. This is kind of similar to with the painting thing where there's like the balance of the dark and the light. She goes to blow up the head and it's like, oh, it's all, the force is all connected. So it had some good Star Wars themes. I like the Sith had like the freaking scorpion tail
so
weapon
cool.
thing.
Yeah, that was super sick.
He was cool. I thought it was really good, and it could very easily, like I said, could very easily move around there. It's one of the ones where like I would like probably top 2 in terms of like I want to see what happens
I want
next.
more.
Like where does it go from here?
Yeah.
Because they kind of build that relationship between the pilot and Tool there. So yeah, I really like this one. That is my number 3.
Yeah, my number 3 is the Banditos of Golurk. I thought it was cool. Obviously, the little girl was stupid, being dumb and everything. But I think I've probably said this a couple times. At first, when they introduced Inquisitors, I did not like Inquisitors, but they have grown on me significantly, and so the inclusion of them and the Purge Troopers, even though they didn't do anything in this episode, it was cool. And the cane saber, I question it a little bit, but it is what it is. And also I couldn't, one of her hilts was curved like Dooku's, right?
Yes, kind of. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
Because that would have been like the top of the cane.
top of the cane. Yeah, so I thought that was. I'm always sucker for the curved hill. I think that's kind of cool.
For Dooku.
Simping for Dooku, old man. He's cool. But yeah, and I also was this made by like the people who make Clone Wars and Bad Batch? Because I mean, it looked exactly like it. It looked so close.
No. It wasn't.
I didn't think it was. I could tell differences here and there, but it was just the similarity was so close. I think that's why I really liked it. I was like, this is like just out of Tales of Jedi or something.
To me, it looked like the people who did the Arcane series on Netflix, like that animation style.
I got it pulled. I got them pulled up here. They did Troll Hunters. If you ever watched Troll Hunters, the animated show,
Okay,
that seems to be their biggest one. They did Fast and Furious Spy Racers.
Oh, these are the people who also did
Big
like
City Adventure.
Yeah, they did like VeggieTales or something, like a season of VeggieTales when it got weird animation.
Looks like it. Yeah.
So funny.
Yeah.
VeggieTales.
Shout out.
Tales of Arcadia. They have another show coming up for Netflix that's Usagai, which is it's a anime about a samurai rabbit. It's cool. At least the manga is that I've read.
So, are they making that as an anime or as like more 3D?
It looks more 3D from what I
A
can see
manga
there.
adapted to a 3D.
Yes.
Huh. But yeah, Banditos of Golurk. I thought that was a fun one. And like I think you said too, Zach. I'm a sucker for anything on a train.
Yeah, trains are always
Trains
good.
are
I
cool.
mean,
Uncharted 2.
name me a bad train scene in a movie or
Right.
TV show.
I don't think it
The
exists.
Book of Boba, great. Uncharted 2, great. Like, frick, that movie Unstoppable, where it's just about the train that won't stop.
I don't think I've
Also
seen it, but
awesome.
cool.
It's got like Chris Pine and Denzel Washington. Maybe it's not
Oh
called
yeah.
Unstoppable, but it's about a train that is going to crash unless they can find a way to stop it, and it's awesome the whole time.
I think it is called Unstoppable.
What's the one movie with Snowpiercer? Snowpiercer's good. I love a train. I love a
I
train
love a
movie.
train. I love me a good train. Yeah.
You would love a good train.
Yeah.
Oh.
Nice.
All right, my number
Cool.
2 is Journey to the Dark Head. Again, kind of like what you said, it just felt the most Star Warsy of the bunch. And I still liked it. I think my only confusion is the pilot force sensitive, or like she kind of has like that
She's
connection to
because
that
where
group.
were that group? I don't really understand what that group was or where they were at now.
Yeah, that was interesting. Yeah, I forgot
So
about
she's
that.
got it. I think she
Yeah.
does have a minimal connection to the Force, probably.
Right.
Yeah.
Like maybe they're probably just like acolytes of the force where they don't necessarily have the force, but they follow its like the Jedi principles and teachings and
Like
anything about the
Chirrut,
force. Yeah, exactly.
Or
So maybe
the
that's what it is.
the
what's their nuts
anchorites.
in Survivor? Yeah,
Anchorites,
yeah,
yeah.
Anchorites. There we go.
something
There we
similar
go.
to that.
That's what I was trying to say. Not acolytes. That's Sith. Ugh. Yeah, no, I kind of was wondering about that, and so now that I've got that clarity, yeah, no, it's just beautiful episode. Villain is badass, and honestly, I
Sure.
didn't see
Yeah.
that. I completely forgot about that vision she had in the stone
Mm.
about the two figures in combat, and there was like something in the middle. And then whenever we got to that point where it was basically mirroring that, I was like,
I was the same thing. I was like,
oh.
oh yeah, the thing.
Yeah. Like I think I got so invested with like the Jedi's backstory that I completely forgot she had a backstory.
Mhm.
So yeah, no, it was really good. It was really good. I liked it a lot, and I think consensus wise, a lot of people have Journey to the Dark Head right now as like their favorite of this season. Which is not a surprise to me at all.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of to my maybe not to my point, but like I said, that's the one that feels the most like a season one.
Mhm.
And like I think that's kind of why I like season one more. I don't know, that was obviously I didn't pick that one as my favorite, but like
It's just anime,
I don't know
bro.
it. Well, and I'm a
It's
weeb,
just sick
so
ass anime. That's what I'm
yeah,
saying.
it's
Yeah,
just I mean I just love
that's
yeah
exactly
sick
why I
ass.
like it.
Yeah, so
I will say I wish this season had more memeable moments like My Name is Ethan.
I know.
name
I
is
was
Ethan.
I
There
was
was a
keeping an eye out for
huge
it.
lack of memes.
Yeah, no memes
Yeah.
in this one.
There was also not a tremendous amount of dialogue in a lot of these.
Yeah.
But like my number two, I had Au's song as my number two here.
Nice.
The animation was great on all of these, but like we had kind of said, this one was just it just looks so cool. They
Very
look so soft
colorful.
and
Yeah, and
cuddly and
soft.
very colorful. Um,
If I were to play like an tabletop RPG or just even a digital RPG of Star Wars, I would want to be one of those bear steel creatures.
yeah, they're just cute. They're just adorable. I liked the Jedi in there too. I liked her. I don't know why I really liked her hat, and I
Her
liked
little
it when
hat.
she
Yeah.
yeah, I liked it when
Yeah.
she did the lightsaber slide down
Oh
the
yeah, you
cliff
do that in
there.
Fallen
Yeah.
or Survivor a couple times.
Yeah, and then there's the I don't know the part where she sings to the kyber crystals and they're all like glowing when she's in the cave. Like that just looks so cool. And
I know, and they should have honestly, they should have just let her keep singing. They were so scared of her voice.
Yeah.
She just needed to keep doing it, and
Yeah.
then they wouldn't explode.
right,
Huh.
yeah, I don't know. And interesting new force power. I'd love to see what journey she would be going on next there. Also, I think it's very I don't know why it feels this was one thing where I was like, I like that. Like, I liked the opening narration thing where it just kind of like
Yeah,
gave you a
kind
little
of
bit of
a little bit of
backstory.
backstory. Yeah, I
Mm.
appreciated that.
And then
Yeah.
they gave like a title, like the cute little title card where it was kind of like a big shot, like where it's zoomed out, like you see her on the mountain, and it just pops up Ao's song. Like I don't know, it's just like, huh, that's nice.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a very minor thing there. Um, yeah, it was good. They were adorable. I liked the plot to everything as well. Um, that's my number two. Could be flip, like I said, top three could flip flop around a lot for me personally.
Right on.
Oh yeah.
My numero dos is Reacher's Screech.
Reacher Screech.
Reacher's Screech. Yeah, I like that one. The animation I was a little iffy on. Like, it's not bad. It's definitely not bad. But while I was watching, I was like, okay. But it's definitely not terrible. And yeah, I really liked just the darkness about it. Like, this kid is getting sent off with this probably Sith Lord, and he just murdered another Sith Lord. And I'm very curious. Yeah, what the hell was this Sith Lord doing in this cave? Like, I want to know more about that. Like,
Yeah.
was she maybe
Yeah.
the former apprentice of this other lady, or like?
I think it's like a Darth Maul situation where
Yeah.
a dark side user like exists in exile, and if word gets around that this Force user exists, they're following like the rule of two, and they're like they must be exterminated. Or if it's like ancient Sith, it probably was like pre-rule of two, and it's just like
It's been around the whole time.
if you haven't joined us, then you have to die.
Yeah. Yeah. I liked it though. I did like it, but yeah, not much else to say about that. I don't think. Yeah, we already better. Yeah. I don't know. That's good.
Yeah. Well, I guess that
Number one
puts
time.
me at number one,
Number
which I guess not really much of a surprise, but I really like
one.
Sith. I think Sith was like a really strong introduction to season 2. I know. Like as soon as I saw like the Force with like this painting thing, and it was full of color, and then it turned black, I immediately knew where it was going. And I was like, but it wasn't like a frustrating like, oh well, I can guess where this is going. It was like oh, this will be fun to follow along with. And watching this world build around her just as she was like walking through it, and seeing like all of these, I almost felt like they were pre-sketches of like her robot hand were like floating around. um it felt cool, and then the world builds gradually as she explores that dark aspect of the Force and light aspect, and they're like fighting against each other. It was great, and the villains were just so cool to watch. That droid, awesome. Again, we mentioned the canon thing. Just like as awesome as it was, I couldn't help but laughing. And I was just like, this is exactly what Star Wars is. It's like finding those little moments to like laugh and be joyous while this bad stuff is happening. I just
Similarly
I
with that
found
dude getting dookied on the train right in the face. I laughed at that one. I was like, damn.
It's like, damn, holy shit. Oh yeah, and even Journey to the Dark Head, whenever he decapitates that guy, they had that moment where he slices through him, and you like saw from within that happening. I was sitting there and I just went like, holy shit. I'm like, we need more of that in Star Wars.
Oh, yeah.
Just these like dark moments that are just oh shit moments. But yeah. No, that's mine for Star Wars Visions season 2 number 1.
Well, my number one definitely was just dark moments. I have Reacher Screech as my number one. Like Bailey said earlier, like I thought the voice acting was really good. Like sometimes kids can be annoying, but I didn't. I thought they all sounded kind of charming and like sufficiently depressed because they're in a labor camp. Like,
Still live in the UK, so they probably have it
right,
down
yeah.
to
There's
science.
small and yeah. I mean, I would be depressed.
There's always
if I lived
gray
in,
over there.
Yeah. But it was like
if any group of people are gonna join the dark side easily, it's a bunch of Irish and Scottish kids.
probably. Can you blame them?
No.
The second Great Potato Famine just recruits them all to the dark side.
Oh,
No, but it was really good. I thought I really liked the animation. Bailey mentioned that obviously they've done a bunch of award-winning stuff. None of it I've watched. I've like queued it like on Netflix. Like there's one that's something about the wolf walkers or something like that that looks really
yeah.
cool. Haven't watched it. But it does look really good. It was like genuinely like disturbing and scary. Like
The screeching.
yeah, the screeching and the witch.
It gave
we
me
talked about-
2D Clone Wars vibes.
yeah, kind of, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It just had it was very scary. A lot of questions. Where did the witch come from? Where did she get that necklace from? Right. Obviously, I think we all think that person that came down is a Sith, especially since she told her to keep the
Keep the red lightsaber.
But also like she was almost like a Sith angel. Like she just like comes down from the sky and right.
That's why I was
And
like
it's
a little confused.
So like similar to Journey to Darkhead, like I want to know what happens next. Like where does this go next? Is this girl gonna become evil? Like
Well, that's part of why I like the ending too, because like
right?
the last thing you see is her
is this
turning
actually
back
gonna be a
to
better
look.
life, right?
Well, she like turns back to look like at her friends, and there's almost like this look of regret, like oh shit, and then the doors close and the episodes end.
I thought that one was just very good. I really I really liked Reacher Screech there for sure. Spooky.
Spooky time.
I think we could use a little bit more spookiness in Star Wars.
I'm
there.
always game for that. Yeah, my number one is Shocker, Journey to the Darkhead. Yeah,
nice.
it was sick. You know, I'm a sucker for anime.
I made it in all of our top threes, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
nice.
I'm a sucker for anime. I thought the Sith was pretty badass. I loved his little tail thing. That was pretty sick.
Oh yeah, like Scorpion.
Yeah, it was just all around dope. It makes me want a dedicated Star Wars anime. Like I just think that would be super sick. And it was the one that gave off the most season 1 vibes, which I think we said in the beginning. Like I and maybe you also liked season 1 just a little bit more. But yeah, I mean it was. Let's see, where do I have it here? Yeah, I mean I guess I didn't really write a ton down to say, but it was good. I liked it, and it gave me season 1 vibes. Dope tail, dope all around coolness. So yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was very cool. I think I was looking at all the studios of who did what, and I think that was the studio that did like Legend of Korra. Legend of Korra is probably the biggest thing that they had done. I think they'd done like a DC movie, like an animated DC movie before. Like pretty much all of these had done something that I had heard of. All the studios, at least, maybe like I don't know if I had recognized anything that from whatever studio did Sith. I don't know if I recognize any other stuff, but it's cool for them to go out and get different studios from different places and stuff. I thought that was a neat idea for sure.
Yeah, I definitely don't want them, and I don't know that they would. I don't want them to stop making Visions. I hope they keep doing it. And I think I said this last time, but I don't know if Bailey was here. I want them to do like a Visions, but have like an all-together story. Each episode animated by somebody else, but it's a progressive, continuing story. I think that would be super cool just to have one story told in 9 different animations.
Oh,
kind of like what they did with maybe like What If, but with different animators, where it kind of like there was the overarching story that tied through.
Yeah, I think that would be really cool.
I don't know why it hit me just now. It's like when Cartoon Network had like the Alien weekend, where they had a story that went from like each of these different shows somehow like interconnected with this like same alien invasion. So like Billy and Mandy had an alien invasion episode, and it somehow translated into Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends, which somehow translated into like Chowder. I don't know. It was like a whole weekend thing that they were doing, but they just had different animators doing that. Yeah,
I remember the Billy and Mandy Kids Next Door crossover. That's cool.
Oh yeah. where number
According-
3 becomes death.
Shit.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
According to some random people on Reddit, they're already season 3 of Visions is in the works.
That's good.
Good.
Also, it is on StarWarsNews.net.
.net.
Whatever that is worth.
Okay.
So yeah, I would love a season 3. I'd love more.
More sequels, like more sequel
Yeah, they
Clone
haven't.
Wars
Mhm,
kind
yeah,
of
Yeah,
stuff.
I don't think we've seen
explore
that at
different
all.
eras. Do some different styles, not animation styles, but like genres styles. There,
Not all about
'cause
the
I think
Force and
there's-
lightsabers.
Right, there's bounty hunters. You could do
Smugglers.
smugglers, politicians. Do a political thriller.
Political thriller could be cool.
I don't know,
Not gonna lie.
courtroom drama.
Yeah.
Spy. Yeah.
Well, because
Ooh,
like
give us like
I
give
like
us
a
like
lot
a
of the.
Nuremberg trials, but it's for the Empire, like Imperials.
I like all of the political aspects of Star Wars. I genuinely do, and they're branching out more with that. We had like Andor and all sorts of stuff that's just been doing more and more kind of like behind the scenes stuff. And yeah, I mean something like that in Visions could be really.
Yeah. But we're probably not going to get anything because there's a writer's strike and they're not going to pay anybody.
Oh,
Yeah.
interesting.
So
I'll write for free. Shit.
all right for free.
I mean, put my stuff in there. Yeah, I'll give you something.
Sign me up.
And then Cal and Bode and Marin all got together on the Mantis and had a bang fest.
No, here's
Grease used all
Caleb's-
4 of his hands.
Here's Caleb's Mandalorian season 4 episode 1. Mandalorian crashes
Crashes his ship head on into Ahsoka. And she
Into
dies
Ahsoka.
I was
immediately.
Ahsoka
literally
dies.
about to say.
Thrawn kills Ahsoka with a single blaster bolt. Dead, gone.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Get what you pay for.
Mandalorians get wiped out, and we don't have to worry about them
Right.
ever again.
Except Boba Fett. Boba Fett's the only living Mandalorian. And
There we go.
Oh,
He
I don't know if we
can't
mentioned
die.
it. Did you guys see how they apparently like just left Tamura Morrison out of the new season? You guys been seeing that?
Yeah, well,
Of
I mean, like
Mando?
he mentioned that like he was disappointed. He was never like approached, but he was very very much like, well, I'm not the writers,
Right.
so like if I were in the room, I absolutely would have fought for it, but no one ever approached me about it. So he's just unsure of the future of Boba Fett in Star Wars as it stands.
I don't know if this isn't the same thing, but I saw he was like he kind of hinted that he was a little peeved that the Mando shit happened in his thing. He's like, but I couldn't really say anything about it. And he's like, I kind of maybe expected to get my spotlight back in the Mando, but didn't happen.
Yeah.
Rip
Instead, Mando
Tamura.
got sidelined by Dr. Pershing for one episode,
Right.
and then nothing really came of that.
Right.
well, if you guys really want to support Tamura Morrison, you need to just get on Spotify and just play his album on repeat.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Tim?
I will do that.
I'll have to look at that.
I will
It's
rewatch
all like-
Aquaman.
It's all
I
like
will
country
rewatch
music
Moana.
covers, basically.
It's a goddamn crime that they replaced his singing voice in the Moana movie with a Hamilton actor, which Hamilton actor's great, but Tamora Morrison can sing. Let the man sing the
Is he in
goddamn
Moana?
song.
I didn't know
Yeah,
that.
he plays her dad.
Oh shit!
So he sings like that whole make way" song.
But he doesn't
that's
actually.
not him.
He does
It's not him.
on his album. He does. It's not unusual to be loved by anyone.
That's great.
Yeah. So, it's a straight heater, left and right.
You know what else is a straight heater?
What?
Jack Black's song "Peaches" from the Super Mario movie.
Absolutely. Watch
Mhm.
that be on everybody's Spotify Wrapped list. at the end of the year.
I'm making sure it's on mine. Like
I don't use
it's on
Spotify.
all of my playlists right now.
It is good. It's total bop.
Do we want to talk about the Mario movie now?
We can talk about a Mario movie if you want. I forgot to mention though that I always gotta plug Disney Plus if I can, excuse me, Disney Junior more specifically.
Yeah.
There we go.
The studio that makes that did Ao's song also works on a Disney Junior show called Kia and the Kamoja Heroes, which is a straight heater as well. If you have not watched Kia and the Kamoja
I have not. I
Heroes,
can't say that I have.
Damn.
No.
I've only seen a few episodes, but it's kind of
Really?
a bop. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
I'll probably be delving into Young
You
Jedi
spend too much
Adventures
time
later
on Disney
today.
Junior and you're not playing enough Survivor.
I put in. I don't know how much you've played on it. I know you beat it. I don't know how much total time you've put into it. I've logged, according to my PlayStation, 24 hours on there.
I'll have to check. I'm not sure.
So I just do a shitload of side stuff, man. Did
Dude.
you get the thing where BD1 can shoot electricity?
Yeah, you need that.
You have to have that.
I thought. I assumed whatever.
Okay.
I assumed I
I'm
used
doing.
it for story stuff, but
I just did that right now. I didn't know if that was a story necessity or not, but I'm always getting distracted by stuff.
yeah. And there was one thing like I forget where certain things are when I have to go back. Like I don't know if you came across it, but there's like that you need. I'm pretty sure that electric thing you were talking about. But there's like I think on Kobo there's like a locked door and there's somebody behind there talking to you. You come across that? Yeah. I was gonna try and go back there for that. I just couldn't find it.
I don't remember. Yeah, I don't remember where that is.
Couldn't find it.
And the map on there is not very great.
Oh my god, it's horrible. I can never tell where
if
I'm
it's
going.
a place that a place that you can unlock but haven't gone there yet, it's lit up green. But a lot of times, like especially with the little electric things, it's very, 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 very
Tiny.
small.
Yeah.
So yeah,
it's a little hard. But
speaking of things that are green, Luigi was not in the Mario movie enough. That's one of my biggest
yeah, he was a little absent in a little part of there. I think my biggest, well, that's true, but one of my other kind of, I guess, complaints, if you want to call it that, was I just felt like it went by pretty fast. Like I felt like they could have.
It was not a very long movie.
Not a very long movie. I would have liked to see them maybe explore a little bit more of the Mario Land, Mario World, as you may say, because like they just kind of like, well, no, like the Mushroom Kingdom, like all of that. Like they just kind of like hop around pretty quickly and get around through things. And I everything was great, but I just wish I could have seen a little bit more of the world. And this is a little strange. I don't know if you guys caught this, but and I don't hate it. I think it's fine, but like they changed up Donkey Kong a little bit. Like Cranky Kong was his dad instead of his grandfather, which was interesting. And I haven't played every Donkey Kong game, but like it just didn't look like the Donkey Kong world I know. Like I've played tons of Donkey Kong Country games. I've recently played the Donkey Kong Country Returns, and they just seemed like an empire rather than just a bunch of monkeys chilling on an island. You know, it was a little different, but I liked it. I did like it. It's cool.
I was not a fan of them using like all of the licensed music. Like when they went to Donkey Kong Country, they played "Take on Me," the song. I'm just like,
I liked the inclusion, but it did feel out of place.
It feels out of place. Like someone explained why they used a lot of the licensed music, and it's because these were songs, or some of them were songs specifically that were like charting at #1 in the Billboard Top 100 on the same year of different Mario game releases. So that's why they included some of these. And I was like, oh, interesting. Anyway, you could have just remixed the Donkey Kong Country theme.
Yeah, I think I would have liked that too. Yeah.
At least within the movie. Like, you could include those on the soundtrack, maybe as like a fun little detail. But, you know, it was just kind of like out of place.
Yeah,
I thought No Sleep
strange.
Till Brooklyn was okay, because they were in Brooklyn and running around doing their Mario stuff in the beginning. I was like, whatever, that one's fine.
Yeah.
And whenever they go to the Mushroom Kingdom and it just kind of happens everywhere they go, I was like,
yeah, it took me just like maybe 15, 20 so minutes to like adjust and like get used to what I was looking at, because like, you know, it took me a minute to get used to the voices a little bit, because I'm not used to them talking typically. And I don't know if you guys felt, but like it just like they looked so out of place in Brooklyn. Like when they're wearing their full Mario and Luigi get up walking around in Brooklyn, I'm like, these guys look so ridiculous. They don't look like they belong at all. But then as soon as they get into the Mario world, I'm like, okay, this is fine.
Well, didn't they say that was kind of a bit for their commercial?
I think
they're
so.
trying to get recognized. Like they wanted to have a brand.
It just looked a little silly. Something I'm walking. I'm like, okay, they look a little funny.
And they explained away like Chris Pratt not doing the Mario voice. They were just like, he just does it for the commercial and that's it. But I I do want to say that was funny. They looked very in place when they were in the pizzeria. with all the other people who kind of, were references to other games that Mario has been a part of. Like, you had Jumpman, who was played by the voice of Mario, and then you had Spike, who was like the construction company guy from one of the games. But then he goes home, they eat their spaghetti with their family, and then Mario goes to his room to like play video games, and he just walks into his room still wearing this uncomfortable overalls getup. And I was just kind of like, I don't know. That feels a little out of place in that moment.
Yeah.
What else was there? Because I don't know. Jack Black, of course, fantastic Bowser.
I think Seth Rogen was my favorite. Okay.
I gotta go with Bowser. There was the whole woke agenda that was in there too. That kind of set me off.
What woke agenda?
A rainbow road? Like, are you shitting me?
God damn, man! Yeah, what was that all about?
I forgot people were actually complaining about.
Were they
that
really
on Twitter? Yeah, no, people were actually like.
Some people were complaining that it was too woke, but then there were even like some like real cringe like conservative commentators who were like, look at this, you don't put an agenda in a movie and it makes all this money. Like, I don't know, like, it was weird because some of people hated it because it was too woke, and then some people were like, it's not woke at all, and then some people were like, Princess Peach should have been saved more.
I did see that. I did see that there. She was too woman power. Yeah.
Yeah, girl bossing.
Girl bossing. Yeah.
One thing that I.
Go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead. I loved at the end where when Mario and Donkey Kong are like climbing up to get there to the top, and they're just like getting all the power ups, and they're just kind of like
yeah, Donkey Kong with the fire. I thought that was so cool.
I just thought that was a cool scene there at the end there.
Yeah,
I was kind of hoping that they would have more of that, because like Peach got quite a bit of those power ups, but I was hoping that there was going to be like more characters getting those power ups. But I'm fine with it. They can save that for like the Avengers Endgame moment of one of the sequels or whatever, when they inevitably make a Super Smash Bros. Movie.
Oh god, that needs to happen. It needs to happen.
I don't want that to happen.
Why? Dude, Smash Bros. Like Brawl is the perfect template for that.
Subspace
Add dialogue
Subspace
to
Emissary.
it, and it just kind of is like.
No.
I
mean, I was 50 on the dialogue, but
what's the next movie?
They're gonna do another Mario
Luigi's
before
Mansion.
they do anything else.
I want them to do Luigi's Mansion.
Luigi's Mansion would slap.
They already referenced that, though.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll do another Mario. What would be the next non-Mario movie?
Well, before the Mario movie fully came out, I had heard rumors that Illumination Legend of Zelda. Yeah, was supposedly going to be working on Legend of Zelda. So,
which
I'm down for that.
I mean, I'm sure they would do a good job with it, but also Link doesn't talk.
Yeah, I agree.
So,
and that's one thing I don't like about the Breath of the Wild games is that they've got voice acting in them, and it doesn't vibe with me. So I am a little 50 on that, but I'm still down for a Smash Bros. Movie.
The thing about like Legend of Zelda specifically is I don't think Illumination is the right studio for it. I think
would it be Illumination or would somebody else do it?
I would hope someone else would, but if Illumination does it, I just know they're gonna add in the minions or like the dog attacking them in the bathroom scene, which is just like, God, what? Why? They could have just had a moment where, I don't know, the pipes just keep bursting. Why did we have to throw in this dog antagonist for them? I just
the dog.
Yeah, that dog scene. I thought
it was.
That's the part where I kind of was like starting to check out of the movie. Like I was like
in the very beginning.
Exactly. I started checking out, and then like once they got to the Magic Kingdom again, I was like, okay, here we go. There we go. This is what I've been waiting for. That stupid dog scene. I never want it to happen again.
Yeah.
And then at the end of the movie, the dog pops up again and like gives them a nod of approval, and I'm like, go away. Like, why couldn't you have died whenever this 9/11 thing happened?
For the Jesus, I think for
it
the
destroyed
next,
New York. I was sitting there. I was like, oh my god, why is New York getting just like absolutely decimated in all of these movies?
For the next episode, we should do the Nintendo Cinematic Universe. What movies should we make?
I'm down.
Or they could just bring back Kirby right back at you.
Oh,
just reboot that.
There we go. No. Here we go. There was
Illumination
one.
could do a Kirby movie.
Don't spoil
Well,
it. Don't spoil it.
No, don't spoil what.
I don't know. If we're gonna do this in the next episode, don't give away all your ideas.
Well, no, I was just gonna say there was one possible reference that I could see for a future Kirby movie. They were looking at the sky and you see a shooting star. And I'm like, Kirby.
That's true.
That could.
Oh,
they
yeah.
could
Whenever
just say
she
that that's
mentions,
Kirby.
like, there's all kinds of galaxies
Yeah.
out there.
And then you see a shooting star. I'm like, that could totally play up to being Kirby in the future of the franchise. I think.
I see that now, but when I first saw it, like, to me that felt like a pretty obvious Mario Galaxy reference.
Yeah, probably was,
but you could go either way.
I think Kirby.
Lumalee was great. I love little Lumalee.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty funny.
Being a little
star.
gloomily.
Ouch.
Oh, the star thing.
Yes.
Yeah, I never played Galaxy. I didn't. That, but yeah.
Rosalia and Luma.
Mm-hmm.
And now, and I could be wrong, but isn't it like Luigi ends up with Peach and makes Rosalina his daughter or something like that? Is that how that works? I thought I heard that.
What?
I thought Luigi ended up with Peach.
I have no idea.
Have you guys never heard this before? I swear to God, I've heard this before.
I don't know. I don't think I've played Galaxy.
I never played Galaxy, but
that's weird.
I could be wrong.
Well, let's hope that you are, because that sounds whack.
Yeah, that's one of those game theory, thanks for watching kind of things that probably got introduced on the internet, and now it's just like everyone thinks it's canon, but it's not, because it's gross and it's weird.
All right, let's call it. I think that's it.
Yeah. Thanks for watching or listening or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, just listening is all.
This is the way.